Hi, this is State Representative Denny Hoskins, proudly serving the 121st District. This week we had a lot of visitors to the Capitol here in Jefferson City. It was great to have Johnson County Day on Wednesday and have over 41 local community leaders from Johnson County, from Warrensburg, Knob Noster, and Holden. We also had the Johnson County Hospice here to visit. We had the UCM Workshop on Wheels here to visit, and then Coco Radio was live broadcasting from the third floor rotunda from 9 to noon on Wednesday. So we had a lot of great visitors here from Johnson County, and it's always a pleasure to give them a tour and talk to them about issues and concerns and listen to some of the problems that they're facing back home. One of the things that we've talked about this week is tax credit reform. I've sat through many hours of budget committee meetings listening about different ideas on tax credit reform. I think tax credits are a good incentive and economic tool, but right now we have several tax credits that there are no cap on and no limits on. And I think we need to take a hard look at a lot of those, whether it's historic tax preservation or low-income housing. Those are the two biggest tax credits that the state of Missouri grants, and take a look at those and make sure that they're being utilized in a way that they're supposed to be utilized and they're serving the purpose for which they were intended. We have some other minuscule tax credit programs in the grand scheme of things, like pregnancy center tax credits, such as the New Beginnings Pregnancy Center there in Warrensburg, and I think it's a great tax credit program, as well as domestic violence shelters. There's a tax credit program for that as well that we have in Warrensburg, and I think those are two good tax credit programs. Again, they are minuscule in the amount of millions of dollars that Missouri grants in tax credits each year. Each year we have about, so far we've had around 600 to 700 million in tax credits that are reimbursed every year. And when we talk about tax credits are, if I owe $5,000 in Missouri state income tax and I've got a tax credit for $3,000, well, then I would only have to pay the difference of $2,000. Now, some of those tax credits are refundable tax credits, so if I owe the state $5,000 in Missouri income tax and I have a tax credit for $7,000, well, then the state of Missouri has to turn around and pay me the difference of $2,000 when I use that tax credit. So I think the tax credit process deserves a review, and just to make sure that, like I said, everything is working like it was intention. We also, don't want to, like I said, I'm a proponent of tax credits, but we don't want to stifle economic growth, but we do need to take a hard look at those. Another a resolution that I filed last week was HJR 100, and HJR 100 would reduce the amount of state representatives from 163 to 103. I think it at least bears some discussion. What this resolution would go to the vote of the people to decide that. When we're looking at all sorts of different ways to cut expenses, cut spending, I think it's only appropriate, when we look at combining possibly the Department of Higher Education and Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, or the Missouri State Water Patrol with the Missouri State Highway Patrol, that we take a look at our own house, literally included, and see if it makes sense in order to reduce the amount of state representatives. Now, the total savings of this would be minuscule, I guess, when we're looking at trying to cut almost $500 million this year in order to have a balanced budget. And we also have to realize that other states may have less representatives, but they have more staff people. I have one staff person. Other states, like the state of Texas, they have their state representatives have 5 to 7 full-time staff, as well as they have not only a capital office but a district office. As you know, I don't have a district office. I guess you would call my CPA firm my district office back in the district. Again, it's been an exciting week this week. I really enjoyed having all the visitors come here to the Capitol and visit with me with a lot of their questions and concerns, and I look forward to seeing everyone back in the district this weekend. It's an honor to serve as your state representative, and like I said, my door is always open, or feel free to contact me by phone or email. Thanks, and have a great weekend.